it provides lighting in areas where it would be difficult to, you couldn't necessarily tape a flashlight or something. So if it's small and lightweight, you could, again, put these on those areas that tell you there's a wet floor. You can put them on any type of thin surface. One example would be in warehouses or in construction sites. If it's low light or light, they'll have different colors on. So that like if you're in an Amazon warehouse, even though you have backup generators, you could have somebody that's, if they're running heavy equipment or like, forklifts, they could have that on. So it's backup emergency lighting, and you'd be quite surprised in the dark, one white or green A-pals, which are the two brightest colors, one single A-pals will actually light a 10 by 20 room quite well to see most things. So it's a backup to your backup generator.
That's great. So emergency preparedness is definitely one, which is why we have you on this particular episode this month. Now, regarding cost savings, I think that's another good CBI that you fit into. Now, you mentioned that specifically your A-pals, they're a replacement to chem lights. About how many chem lights would you have to use to go through about 200 hours of the A-pals battery life?
Of course, it depends on, there were a lot of variations, but they had some high intensity ones that were good for 15 or 20 minutes. Typically, a chem light in green, which is their strongest running color, would be about an hour. And for the mil-spec chem light sticks, they were about $250 before the company went out of business. They $2 to $3 a piece. So you would actually need to have 200 to 300, maybe let's call it 250 chemical light sticks to provide the lighting. But this, once again, you can turn it off. So this would, because the flashing could be used if you had to light a runway, for example, out in the middle of nowhere. Put some of these. Yeah. This particular stuff, if you can see it, it's a waxy paper that covers the adhesive. You can actually restick that and restick this. You get about 100 resticks depending on the surface. So, again, it's probably, if you even compare it to like the cheap, junky kid stuff coming in for Halloween that's selling for $1 a piece, you're going to get 300 hours out of these, and they're going to be still brighter. And big thing is you can turn it back off. Like an example would be a kid's backpack or something, right? Stick it on, take it off, move it around to other things. For medical emergencies, you're able to provide, because you can fit 2 or 3 of these in a small, I have 2 or 3 of the very small type packs that I keep with me all the time. You're not always carrying your EMT type bags around, but so the savings is probably, again, you'd be spending on one A-pals is going to cost you about $6 at Grainger versus, let's say, $600 worth of chemical light sticks.
Yeah, so some major cost savings that you can bring to your customers, as well as keep stock. So these are a consumable product, as well as their very popular rechargeable battery that they have in Grainger, which we'll get into here in a moment. But keep stock would be another good CBI for Brite-Strike. If you're watching this video, there is a QR code down below. Scan that with your phone. It'll take you to multiple websites, Brite-Strike's products on Grainger.com, their YouTube channel, other social media sites, their website, just lots of useful information there. So scan that code. That way you can learn more about Brite-Strike.